Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a Lego set and hang out with all of you. Before things get started here, I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego the site, the Tier 2 Blue Emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, go ahead and lurk. We also want to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego to the site, the Tier 2 Blue Emote in chat, and thank Harold for the 90 months. That's so many goddamn months. Thank you so much, Harold, for your continued support. It means a lot to me. Let's throw the emotes in the chat. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Welcome, welcome. Harold, that's so many months. Thank you very much for all your support. Appreciate you very much. Welcome, welcome here on a Saturday. Also, hey, let's throw it up there that from the 19th to the 25th, so through tomorrow. If you want to subscribe to 2 channels, including my own, or gift 2 subs, you can get yourself 30 days of Crunchyroll Mega Fan free trial. A 30-day free trial for the expensive thing, and then they'll charge you to keep doing it. But if you've been like, I keep hearing about this anime stuff, I'd like to check that out somewhere, and I don't know how to do it. Well, there's an option. We're currently at 29 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up about subscribers when I hit the goal until the number goes below 40, and then I start talking about it again. That's all that. There's that, to talk about here. We got a Lego set. We are starting the Lego 3-in-1 race plane set. That's what it's called. I don't like saying race and plane one after one another. I don't. Race plane. I mean, that's what it is. It's a race plane. But I just think it's someone should have said, could we call it stunt plane 3-in-1? Could we call it a stunt plane? And it would be like, or propeller plane 3-in-1? Do we have to call it the race plane? We do? Okay. I don't know. Maybe this wasn't an argument. Maybe I'm too sensitive. Either way, let's go to the overhead camera. Now, a thing I need to talk to you about this particular Lego set that is new to me is that this kit is modern enough and new enough that a new initiative within Lego is affected within this kit or the set. We have not been able to show this off before. I didn't mention it in my mailbag video because I didn't know this was one of the sets. Paper bags, y'all. We're in the fucking future. It took way too long for them to get on board with this. Paper bags. Easily to rip paper bags. These bags can be recycled instead of these plastic bags that maybe actually don't ever actually end up recycled and end up in a landfill. Even though you put them in with recycling, you don't actually know because they don't really want plastic and the plastic recycling. They really want the metal. The paper recycling does get reused. So these can all go in my cardboard recycling, which is great. Very happy about this. It's a 3-in-1. We're going to open all 3 bags and then we'll start sorting by color. So we'll do that one at a time. It smells like cardboard, which is great. And it's got the rip here, which is nice. So yeah. I knew these were starting to go into effect worldwide. There had been a few countries in the world where they've been doing this for years as a pilot program. And they finally, started doing it in more places. Very happy about that. Yeah, because this is a 2025 Lego set. It even has the year on it, so we're starting to see that, so I'll put that aside. I am going to be separating by color, and then I will do a little bit of sorting after that. But yeah, I was very happy when I opened this box up just to see what was inside and take the 3 instruction books out and look at that and go, oh, cool, cool, cool. That's just neat. It is a neat bit of business. I love the smell of cardboard in the evening. It smells like victory. Indeed. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Thank you, Harold. Oh, I want to check out something right here. Results are still coming in. Saturday night's main event, a WWE Saturday evening show, which I did not talk about. I did not take the night off for. I will just watch it later on Peacock, so I'm not worried about that because it is on Peacock and NBC as a network special. Ooh, we got one piece here that is not a black piece here. It is a dark blue and you should be able to see that. No, actually that isn't. Wait, is that? Ooh, are these a different color? These are not a different color. I thought they were a different color, but they are not, which is good because that would be annoying. I thought that was a navy blue. It was next to some blues, and my eyes played tricks on me, which is frustrating. But yeah, there's a wrestling happening tonight. There's wrestling happening tomorrow. I love a Sunday pay-per-view from AEW, not a Saturday one, because it means I don't have to decide if I'm going to take a Saturday off or not watch a pay-per-view. And this one's shaping up to be pretty good. Double or Nothing tomorrow. We talked about it on Thursday. The only match that has been added to the card, well, there were two matches out of the card. One is a trios match. It is the Paragon, which is the new name for the Undisputed Kingdom, because the Kingdom guys aren't in it, so they just gave it a different name. That's Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. They are taking on the Don Callis family members, which in this case is Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, and Josh Alexander. And my belief is that Kyle or Roddy are going to take the pin, thus setting up one person in Don Callis' family to eventually challenge Adam Cole for his title. That is my guess. Who will win that? In my opinion, that should be Konosuke Takeshita. That should be Soup, and he should challenge for that belt. One might even say win that belt, but that should be the next big feud. All right, so this is dark blue, because that's blue and that's black, and these are different colors. Now, is this blue? That is. Okay. So my eyes are not great, but I can tell that this and this are different colors. And I will say this, because my overhead camera, I have some adjusted here to make it brighter and easier for y'all to see what I'm doing. This is way more noticeable for you on camera than it is for me in person, because I have the contrast blasted up here. So I should do that when I am wondering what color is this. I should just look at my OBS capture, and then I can be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's different. So these are blue, and this is black. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep one of these pieces here for comparison's sake, and I'll do one piece there, because I know this is blue and I know this is black, so if I put one next to each other, I can see the difference. So yeah, we have two different kinds of blue here. So I'm just separating colors pieces by color, just to make my life easier. And we'll go from there. The other match that has been added to Double or Nothing tomorrow is Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford in a tag match against Anna Jay and Harley Cameron. That is the 0 hour pre-show match, or because it's Double or Nothing, the buy-in, which is a better name than 0 hour because the pre-show is an hour and a half. And they still called it 0 hour. So I think they should call every pre-show buy-in, because buy-in is a better name. But Double or Nothing and all that stuff makes sense that they threw in that. I am very happy. It is really nice to know that between pre-show and the show, there are 8 women competing. Or sorry, 10 women. There are 10 women competing, because that's a tag match. Yeah, there are 10 women competing, which already the fact that there are 2 women's singles matches and 2 women in the Anna Green Arena is already tied for the most women, and I think the pre-show pushes that over by 2. Don't quote me on that, because there's been a couple times where there's been multiple women in pre-show matches, so it might be even with that. I will say a rarity in AEW, in wrestling period, thing that I neglected to mention when talking about Double or Nothing was the fact that our match with Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa is a queer, yet another example of a queer match on AEW. 2 queer wrestlers wrestling each other is unfortunately uncommon Even in our modern day, even in a company full of lots of queer folks, the fact that they battle each other is pretty rare. Bear Bronson and Anthony Bowens wrestled each other in a pre-show not too long ago, and that was the first time that two queer men wrestled in AEW. Or it was against each other in AEW. So queer women are more common in AEW wrestling each other, but also not that common. But it is lovely. It is lovely and nice. The non-binary wrestlers and on pay-per-view is still very uncommon. But certainly it has happened. Abaddon, representing the non-binaries, has had some pay-per-view time. And of course, the second ever AEW Women's Champion, Nyla Rose, is trans. And so that was a big deal for a lot of folks. It was just a good, big, cool thing that happened. It would be great to see Nyla Rose on TV. Tony Khan, shaky fist. Tony Khan, coward. It would be nice. He's talking about how, oh yeah, if I had it my way, I would do a women's tag titles. And it's like, Tony, you're the fucking boss, my guy. You could just do that. You could say, hey, a goal of mine for 2025 is to get this women's tag division up. And then if people were like, I don't want to do that, you'd just be like, okay, well, you don't have to be a part of it. I'll work with other people on it. You don't have to, but I'm gonna. Because you're the boss, Tony Khan. You can just say, we're doing it. And then people have to be like, yeah, we're doing it. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, sure thing, boss. Gah, I say. A lot of this stuff. We're just part separating here. We got one big bag of parts left to do. This is I gotta look at the box here to see. 178 pieces. Now, not every piece will be used on everything. One thing that's funny is each of these is a vehicle here. Obviously, you got a jet, you got a plane, you got a helicopter, and each of these vehicles lives on a stand, has a stand that we're going to be building to put it on. But because they don't know which one you're going to start with, each instruction booklet has the stand. And I was like, should I disassemble the stand and reassemble it every time? And the answer to that is no. They're identical, the stands, as far as I can tell. So we'll just we'll build it the first time, and then we'll just have it. We won't fully disassemble the stand. All right, let's get the last bag open. It is perforated, but it doesn't really perforate well. That's something in testing that they could work on for the future. We do have to make sure that clear bags, I will say one benefit of the clear bags is that you can see through it to see if you didn't pull a piece out. These are not as easy for that. We'll put it aside. So I just got to do it by hand here and be like, oh, is there anything? No, there's nothing. Okay. So yeah, so we're still in the kind of like find room for everything side of this here. Give it a little more room for that. And we got big blue pieces. Got some big blue pieces here. So move all this over here. Make sure they don't fall underneath my build surface. Surprised to see a Lego kit this small with a stand. Well, because they're all, yeah, I guess the thing is they decided they'd rather have a stand you can build rather than build landing gear for each of these vehicles. Since they're all, a jet, a plane, and a helicopter, instead they just built a little stand, which is fun. But yeah, little Lego stand that we'll assemble at some point. We got to get there first, though. Got to get all our Lego together here, and then we can get the stuff we need done. Just moving some stuff around here, making some room for myself. All these various pieces, so I can find the things I need when I need them. So that's Double or Nothing tomorrow. Of course, we'll do a recap of that on Saturday. We'll talk through, Monday. because today's Saturday. On Monday, we will do a talk through of that on the results, because I'll watch the whole show. I might, after the stream tonight, go and watch the upload on Peacock of Saturday night's main event. I haven't decided yet. I haven't been watching a lot of WWE stuff since WrestleMania, because WrestleMania was not particularly enjoyable. And also, SmackDown sometimes is over 2 hours. It's 3 hours. And I'm like, man, I can't watch 3 hours of WWE wrestling. That's just not possible. But now, okay, so I can give you the results. Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker defeated CM Punk and Sami Zayn in a tag match. I believe that Bronson Reed, who has been out with injury, has returned, and Bronson Reed has joined the unnamed stable, Paul Heyman's boys, which is a good spot for Bronson Reed. It made sense for him to be in the new bloodline, but now it doesn't really make sense for him to be in the new bloodline. He wasn't really in it. He was just like a hired gun, and he goes where the money is. And I think that works. And it actually works better for the fact that he would been in a feud with Seth Rollins when Seth Rollins was still a face, because it just shows that Seth Rollins is willing to do whatever it takes, including working with someone that he was one of his bitter rivals. Because if that means that he can get what he wants, he'll do it. And I think that's a good bit of business. Zelina Vega retained her Women's United States Championship against a former champion and inaugural champion, Chelsea Green, in a 5-minute contest, which feels like, hey, that could have been longer. I know there's a cage match coming up, and like Jey Uso and Logan Paul are the main event, which feels weird, but like, come on, you can fucking give them more than 5 minutes. It's only women on the card. Come on. I know it's basically just a TV episode, but like, come on, give them a little more time. And especially the fact that there were, people on Chelsea's side trying to help her cheat, and Selena won. That's cool, though. I thought I would have said that this would have been the title change that was going to happen, just to have a title change. John Cena defeated R-Truth in 4 minutes and 25 seconds. I'm bummed. This was a non-title match, and I thought it would have been kind of fucking cool if R-Truth had won. But at the very least, I'm glad it wasn't a long, boring match, because that's what John Cena's been doing lately. So instead, just make it a quick one. Yeah, that's sad. We have not had, I assume it's on right now, Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre in a steel cage. And we also have Jey Uso defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Logan Paul. And some people are very worried that Logan Paul is going to win. But I would say that I don't think they're going to do that on a Saturday night's main event. I am not saying they wouldn't do it, but I'm saying they would do it on a pay-per-view and not a NBC primetime show. That they would save that for a pay-per-view. But yeah, I would not put it past them to make Logan Paul a WWE World Champion, which sounds awful to say out loud. But all right, I have nulled everything. When it comes to WWE, expect the shittiest possible outcome, including the fact that they announced that they were going to do WrestleMania next year in New Orleans, and then decided, wait, we don't want to do that. Yes, it'll happen eventually, Lord Creston, you're right. So they're not doing WrestleMania in New Orleans next year, and they haven't announced, maybe today they did announce, I don't know, but it's going to be back in Vegas. They're going to do back-to-back Vegas shows, which, like, if they had announced it then, would be no problem, but doing it now is just kind of a fucking bummer for a lot of people that, tried to already book their hotel or flights to New Orleans for that weekend that they announced. Real rough. All right, so let's see. A thing that this Lego set does, that I'll show you, is a thing that I have wanted Lego to do for a very long time. That, what do you call it? Not nano blocks. The Mega Constructs. Mega Constructs started doing before. This is a thing that Lego saw their competitor doing and decided, oh, we'll do that too, which is great. And it's right here. You can see the red outline around parts, because you can see I'm putting a navy blue piece on top of navy blue pieces, and it might be hard to see. They started doing this a lot. Now, Lego had done this for a while, but they didn't do it on every kit, and they didn't do it all the time when it was definitely needed. But that is a thing that Constructs has been doing for quite some time. Mega Constructs, I should say. So this is really great. I am very pleased to see them starting to do this. This is a great quality of life improvement from Lego. Like, sometimes it is hard to see where you want this piece to go. So the fact that you can see it is just really nice. It's just very helpful for me as a guy who is trying to build something. It's nice to be able to see that. All right, I need this here and that there. So yeah, as far as Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre, I think Damian Priest should win it. I think they got to end this fucking feud, and Damian winning it would be good, but I don't know if they're going to do that. I also, anytime, Drew McIntyre's in something, I'm like, there's always a chance he'll just win it. And I think that'd be fine. And then I'm really hoping that Jey Uso wins. We'll check out later. We'll see the results. I have some other stuff. I did around the house today. It's been our late spring cleaning, and so I was outside wiping the windows down on the outside windows. Went all around the house doing that, and that went fine. I got a nice little walk-in today because it's probably going to rain around here tomorrow. So I got a good walk-in. Lovely day for that. People are out and about. It's Memorial Day weekend here in the United States, so people are out and about doing their thing, making that stuff happen. No big news out of Anime Boston. Often that convention does have breaking news because it's been a convention that has happened for many, many years. And so sometimes news comes out of that. But New York City Comic Con and Anime NYC have kind of stolen some of that thunder, so you don't really hear it. But I did look to see if there was any big announcements. If you are a fan of Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, there was a panel celebrating the 10-year anniversary of that series. It was with some of the voiceover artists for English, the English dub. And HIDIVE did there was a Q&A, and HIDIVE basically did a write-up of that on their Twitter account. If you are so interested in that show, you can find some information about that. Okay, so we'll put this here, and then this has to go like this. And then this would go like that. But yeah, so far, didn't really see anything other than the way timing works, which is very funny, is a VTuber for HoloLive. There was a group that did a meet and greet, obviously virtual meet and greet because they're not there in person at Anime Boston, but one of the four members lives in America, and all four members are in Japan for something. So what would have been a very easy time for her is not easy. And I hope that Gigi Murin did okay. It's just the timing of stuff. She had to do that. I was like, oh, that sucks. The timing of that. I was like, be easy. She's a East Coast girl, and then has to do a panel, but be on Japan time, a recent Japan time. It's just how things work out sometimes. Those virtual meet and greets are really interesting. I have not seen one live, but basically there is a monitor, and there's a webcam that they can see the person they're talking to, and then the person that's there comes up and sees a monitor with the the avatar, the VTuber. And so a lot of times part of the meet and greet is a photo, and so it's just people taking, or a friend taking, a photo of them standing in front of a monitor. And it's one of those things where I'm like, if I don't think about this too hard, it's still very sweet and fun. But if I like really start extrapolating, it's like, this is very strange. But then I think about meet and greets with people who are in the flesh. They're in person with you. And how there's probably a bunch of VTubers that do these meet and greets that are more connected and more checked in with you as a person at the meet and greet than people that are there live who have been doing this for a really long time and are checked out. Whereas like the fact that you can just like be in your room or whatever doing that might make you way more comfortable than somebody who's there in person having a hopefully good but maybe not good experience because they didn't get a chance to get food in the green room, or somebody was really weak. So hey, I'll say this: if you were a VTuber doing a convention and a meet and greet, and you were obviously there virtually, you don't have a stink factor to worry about. You don't got to deal with any stink factor. You don't got to worry about someone trying to hug you that when you don't want that, or touch you at all when you don't want that. It's just like pretty great. Honestly, I don't know. There's something about it. And the people that have formed a parasocial relationship with you via you being an internet person are already used to like not seeing you in person. Yes, John, the smell of fans. It's conventions. It's a thing. Like, here's the thing. On the one side, you got people who are not taking care of themselves properly because they are at a convention and the rules of engagement do not take into consideration the proper rulage on that. And then you also have people who are like, just sometimes a convention is just fucking sweaty and you just end up sweating because you had to like, on the other side, I shower twice and get nervous and sweaty easy. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Because sometimes it's just like you were just in a sea of people moving, doing your best, trying to move around. And then you were waiting in a line with other people. And yeah, sometimes it's nerves. Sometimes it's just like, I don't know, it's just rough out there. You wore a jacket because it was hot outside, or cold outside, I should say, and then you get in there and then like you wore your jacket because you were just being pushed around by a lot of people and moved around, and you're like, oh, I'm sweating in this, and my backpack is now causing the back of me to just sweat. You could be carrying 20 pounds of things and moving in an 80-degree room. Ghost Valve. Oh, hi, Ghost Valve. Yes, that's totally true. You could be in a scenario where you have purchased things, your bag is full. You are trying to save money. So it's a winter convention and you wore a jacket to the convention, and then instead of going to coat check with your jacket, you stuff that jacket into your backpack, which then weighs down your backpack, which then causes sweat to pool that you were already sweating on your clothing even more, because you are in a position where getting to this convention is your money, and then you have con money, and you don't want to spend con money on checking a bag or checking your jacket. And then you could have just, if you check the bag, you could stuff that's a thing you could do in that is, when you've bought stuff at a convention, you can check a bag and then stuff your jacket in that bag, which will also make it so that the stuff you've bought in that bag isn't noticeable because your jacket is stuffed on top of it. That's just a thing I learned. Not everyone has the ability to know someone who is at the convention that has a table or a booth, and you can stuff your bag there for a while. I had numerous times where I was able to do that, where I could be like, hey, can I leave a bag with y'all for like 2 hours? And sometimes they would say no, but often they would get like, yeah, all right. John says, I feel called out in all of this, and more in now a self-realizing way and not a bad way. Yeah, I mean, like I said, an element of the convention stuff is that because you are around like-minded individuals and you are having a good time, and if you are someone who is self-conscious about talking to strangers, but you know that a convention is a place where you can talk to people about the thing, whereas like in line for something, you could chat with the person in front of you or behind you about the cosplay you just saw, or the line, or like or the early of the day, or like how long did it take y'all to get in here. Like you have small talk that is related to something that you understand and can talk about for a little while. And also, there are extroverts there. You're in a room or a convention center full of people who are either extroverts or who are introverted extroverts who have a social battery that hasn't drained down yet because the weekend just started. So they are very talkative or whatever. Or you are wearing a t-shirt with a reference no one has ever fucking gotten before until now. Now, your fun anime reference, someone looks at it and goes, I love Gatekeepers. And you're like, oh, yeah. It's like, oh, but my shirt for this mid-90s anime that no one remembers. But except for this person who saw you wearing it and was like, oh, I love that show. And you feel seen, and it's wonderful. And then also somebody you know who makes things that you think is fucking rad is just sitting there. They're just sitting there. Now, they are sitting there because they have products that they would like people to purchase, you or other people. But they're in the artist alley, and you can go up to someone and you can be like, hey, Squirrel Girl got a friend of mine into comics, and now we can talk about comics. So thank you very much, Erica, because you made a thing that touched my friend so much that now we have a thing in common with each other, and that's just a beautiful thing. And like, have I said that to Erica Henderson? Yes, I have said that to her because she was at a table, and then I did buy a art print because that's why she's at the convention. She's at the convention to network a little bit here and there and to see some people and to talk to some people about some stuff. But also, she was there to sell things. And so I bought something. But I did want to be like, that you created a thing. You one of your comics, like, gave me a great connection with a good friend of mine. And, you know, you can say like that. John misses conventions, haven't been to one since last PAX South. That's a shame. Yeah, I mean, so 2022 is my last convention, PAX Unplugged. And so I certainly do miss conventions and would like to go to another one. It's one of those things where I'm like, the timing has to be right. Like, a lot of things have to line up really properly for me to go. But I would certainly like to do that again because I definitely miss doing conventions. They're a good time. But I'd like to go back to a PAX if I could be afforded the opportunity. All right, I need a dark blue that I don't see. So did I put it in with the black? I did. This dark blue got mixed in with the black by mistake. So you can see here, these colors right now look very different to you, but to me, in my lighting, they do not look like that. They do not look like that. Maybe if I did this, would this even? No. Yeah, they look actually. Yeah, they looked a little closer in that camera because obviously the two cameras are different. And there. But yeah, I also miss conventions. I'm with you. Let's see. Damian Priest beat Drew McIntyre by escaping the cage. The worst way to win a cage match, in my opinion, is escaping the cage, but sure. It happens. Some of their blacks, browns, and dark grays are hard for me to distinguish in lower light. Yes, John, for sure. When I'm doing, when I have a big Lego set and like I say like, oh, I'm gonna null before the stream starts. Oftentimes, I will turn on some of my lighting that I use for the stream because my regular ass lighting is not good around here. So I will do the better lighting version. Turn on my bright lights for the stream just so that I can see the stuff that I need to see. It's easier to differentiate. But yes, this dark blue and that black. Now, if this was a bigger kit, all the dark blue would be different bags than the black, or most, as much as they could to make it easier. But all right. Yeah. So this black and this dark blue or navy blue is easy to see in the overhead camera, but for my eyes, it's pretty close. All right, and then we need white and this blue. A couple news things here. Not too much news since our Thursday stream. Often on Saturdays is a little bit of it's just like whatever I didn't get to over the week. So if you got in on the pre-orders and you're getting yourself a Switch 2, some of the games that are coming out will support a USB mouse, because there is, like Joy-Cons as mouse support, but there will be USB mouse support on some Switch 2 titles, and the first one being Nobunaga's Ambition Awakening CE. It's a mouthful. But yeah, you'll be able to use a USB mouse. So if you have a USB mouse with like RF, you could plug that in. Harold, I've heard that. I've heard that, one of the things is with some pack stuff is just that there are big publishers aren't doing as many conventions and appearances as they did before, and it's going to be a while to kind of build that back up. And then also, if you were going to PAX for a certain even if it was a good chunk of, but if you were going for people and then those people don't go to PAX anymore, or they don't all go to PAX anymore, that can change your enjoyment of PAX. If you're like, oh, I meet my friends and we go and see these panels and these concerts and this thing, and then some of that isn't there anymore, then it's not the same PAX for you, because they're like, oh, there might be a lot of people that are very excited about some stuff, but that's not your thing. And one of the great parts of PAX is that there are so many things for so many different kinds of people. But yeah, if you're feeling underrepresented on the stuff you went to PAX to see, that can be rough. I get it. But yeah, Joe says, I hope StarCraft 64 makes the virtual console and I can use that sweet mouse support. Yes, the best way to play StarCraft 64. But yeah, and we know this because there is a gameplay that Koei Techno put out, and one of the producers of the game actually uses a USB mouse, plugs in the console, and then starts playing the game with the mouse to show it. So it's right in there. It's true. I'm not making it up. I found that to be very funny. Just like, oh yeah, we'll just see how this goes. There's it there. This is here, and then we put that there. Then we put this like that. Nice little orange piece that I imagine gets covered. Yes, this piece gets covered, which is an old Lego trick that I really enjoy, which is putting bright colors, that don't fit with the theme, but just put them in there and then cover it up. Using the bright colors for support. Always a fun choice. All right, so we need 2 of these. We need 2 of these. Then we need 8 of these. Let's see. Once you connect the USB mouse, a message will appear in the top left indicating the mouse is connected. When the USB mouse is connected, it takes priority over the Joy-Con 2. So that's good to know as well. You can switch between the Joy-Con and the mouse as often as you want, and you can use both of them. Let's see. And we don't know if you can use a keyboard yet. Hey, Lord Crashin, and welcome. But you can, as I said, you can, if you want to, use a mouse, USB mouse. You can plug in a USB mouse. So if you want to have a dedicated USB mouse for your Switch 2, you can. This is very funny. And who knows how many games are going to support that, but at the very least, there's one game out there that's supporting it, which I found very funny. So there was a big Warhammer 40K event this weekend, the Warhammer Skulls event. And so a bunch of games got announced, future games got announced, and then also a bunch of games on Steam and PlayStation and Xbox went on sale. Bolt Gun World of Vengeance is free on Steam. Some of these may be down, but for most of them for the weekend. Bolt Gun World of Vengeance is free. Glacius Relic of War is free, which is normally $40. I think World of Vengeance has been free for a while. Space Marine 2 is on sale. It's like not half off, but it's almost half off. Warhammer 40K Bolt Gun, Dark Tide, Chaos Gate, Necromunda Hired Gun is on sale. Warhammer Realms of Ruin, Total Warhammer 2, Total Warhammer 3, Warhammer Vermintide 2 is on sale for $3. Good deal. And these are on Steam. And Warhammer 40K Battle Sector. And then PSN and Xbox have Space Marine 2, Warhammer 40K games, the ones I just mentioned here. A bunch of those on sale for various things. But apparently the Bolt Gun World of Vengeance that's free is just kind of an advertisement for Bolt Gun 2, which is coming out, which is still fine. It's basically, instead of a demo, they just put out this little free thing. There is a Space Marine, the original Space Marine's getting a remaster that's coming to Xbox, Game Pass, and PC, and not coming to PlayStation, apparently. Maybe a little later. Bolt Gun 2. And stuff about the new Horde mode for Space Marine 2. And some trailers and such, about some updates and things like that. Yeah, so if you're a Warhammer person, lots of stuff in the news there, and free games and discounted games. So check your wish list, see if there's anything there that you're like, oh, I want to check that out. Because there might be something that makes you say, ooh, I'm glad I checked that out. Working on our plane here. Continue to work on that plane. I don't know if there's much to say here. Anytime an announcement like this comes up, people are like, oh, hell yeah, when's that coming out? And the answer is always, who the fuck knows if it ever will, but whatever. A24 struck a deal with Bandai Namco, and A24 is going to is going to be the production company that starts to work on a movie somehow based on Elden Ring. Will that actually happen? Who knows? Will it be good? Who knows? Details are, scarce, but that is a thing that is reportedly going to happen at some point. And that's a video game, so, we talk about it here on the stream. It's like one of those things like, yeah, all right. Yeah, okay. Writer-director Alex Garland. You may know him from 28 Days Later and Ex Machina and Warfare. Sure. Also, A24 is supposedly working on a Death Stranding movie. Again, who knows if we'll ever get either of those projects, but it is a thing that does make people excited because they want the thing, you know. For a lot of people, it just means, you know, that there'll be something, and, you know, more people talking about the thing they like, and a movie they could get excited to see. No details yet, really. Who knows? Not much to say about it, so I apologize. I don't have more to say, but, you know, they just announced it. Who knows if it'll ever come out or be stuck in development hell, because that is often the fate of video game movies. And then, you know, there have been successful video game movies pretty recently. Video game adaptations. Borderlands with, you know, as the notable, not so good. But yeah, I mean, like, a fantasy thing where, like, yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of weird about Elden Ring, and those will not be the focus of the movie. But if you're talking about, like, a guy in a place has to defeat things and unravel mysteries, like, in a big, sprawling world, and then you can throw in a few jokes here and there for the fans. Yeah, I mean, like, I get why you would look at this video game made a lot of money. We should make and it's a sprawling epic with a lot of lore and people who are really invested in all elements of it. We should make that a fucking movie. And why other people would go, yeah, we should make that a fucking movie. Can we get Jack Black to be in it? Oh, it's not going to be a comedy? Okay. Can we get Jack Black to be in it? You know? Sure. Can we get Jack Black to, like, be in it? And also, can we write a song that Jack Black performs in it? Because that would be great. We make a bunch of money doing that. I gotta make this face the right way. Put this here. This piece goes like this. Right here. And this goes next to it. All right. So, yes, featuring Jack Black as Patches. Yes, Ghostface. Okay. This is gonna... The images are not going to be great for this. So, because I'm not going to be sharing the images. So you have to kind of, like, hopefully you heard about this story in the past. Do your own research on this. Look at your information. But I did want to talk about it. So years ago, way back in 2017, a lifetime ago, we were all very different in 2017. Way back in 2017, there was a guy on Something Awful. Already a bad start, I know. But he was on Something Awful, and he was like, hey, I would love some tips, and I would love to hear what people think. I am renovating my master bathroom. And this person was doing by themselves. And, you know, obviously there were people who were playing along, but a lot of people were like, this is awful. You are doing a bad job. That's a structural thing. You shouldn't be removing things underneath where the tub is. Like, you should hire a professional. These are bad choices that you were making. And this person was undeterred. And one of the big things was the cool bathroom they were doing with, like, mostly black and, like, dark gray silverish tile with silver accents and lots of red as an accent as well. People were like, this feels like you're making a bathroom that would be in Doom. So much so that in 2019, a Doom mod got made to look like this bathroom, like, based on that. And it became, again, it was not the biggest internet sensation, but it escaped orbit. It got out of Something Awful, because, like, there's a lot of stuff that happens on Something Awful that we'll never hear about unless we're there. But this broke containment. This became a big enough story that people were like, I want to fucking, hey, you know, I'm going to write about this on Kotaku or whatever, you know, like Polygon is going to try to interview this person, or we talked to an actual plumber or construction, you know, person about these things. We showed them the photos, you know, we showed John Romero this guy's bathroom, you know, that kind of bullshit. It escaped containment, like I said. Anyway, There was other things. He finished the project, so it just kind of like died down, and people didn't really think about it. But then people realized that on Zillow, that house is for sale. The house with the shitty bathroom is for sale. The shitty nightmare bathroom that looks like it's straight out of Doom. And it's on sale for $1.08 million if you want to own that. Master bathroom that has fully been transformed to the sleek modern design that stands out from the rest. So basically, they don't say, "Hey, this bathroom is internet famous, and also you're gonna have to replace everything." They don't say that, but there's a lot of nonsense here. But like, if you go to the gallery and look through the photos on the Zillow listing, it's hilarious because you're like not gonna find like any reference to the bathroom, and then suddenly you come across the bathroom. 5 baths, 5 bedrooms. It's in Corona, California. This unique remodeled home is a true gem, offering an impressive 5 bedrooms and 4.5 bathrooms, including a convenient downstairs bedroom with its own private ensuite, perfect for guests or multi-generational living. Step into the heart of the home, a fully remodeled kitchen with your chef featuring 2-tone custom cabinetry, elegant quartz, high appliances. Oh, that's right. I have to open this tab in something else. My Firefox is too locked down for this, for Zilla's liking. So I'm going to go over here to a browser that's less locked down so they can look at the rest of this words here. There we go. Yeah, there's a garage, turnkey home, sure. Including a multi-head shower. Oh, sorry, yes. The master bathroom has been fully transformed with a sleek, modern design that stands out from the rest, including a multi-head shower with steam room, sunken tub, custom vanity. It's very funny. Like, obviously, they wouldn't say, "Hey, the master bathroom is a nightmare and you shouldn't look at it," but it's very funny. I mean, also, I should clearly state this. The rest of the house doesn't look weird. It just looks like a modern home, like, that's been renovated. There's one place where the fire, I think like the living room has a fireplace that it's in a weird place in the room, but other than that, like, it's all just like, yeah, it's fine. It's just staged and looks good. And I guess the master bedroom does have like red curtains in a weird place. It's kind of odd. The kids' room has like some art on the wall that like is kind of fun. But then you get to the master bathroom and it's just like, what the fuck am I looking at? And there's only 3 photos of the master bathroom, which I think is a great, like, let's not focus too much on this. And it's like, look at the outdoor space. There's an air conditioner. Here's the overhead shot. Very funny. We're so close to a park. I don't know. Sometimes, like I said, this was a thing that I remember from 2017, seeing that it, like I said, it broke containment and I saw it. It's very funny to me to be like, oh, I'm now remembering seeing, Tumblr posts about this thing or tweets about it, and then being like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, because your weird reno project that got famous on something awful, at some point somebody's got to sell that fucking house. Your dream house is done, and now it's just someone else has to fucking sell that thing. All right, so we put one of these here. We put a 2 here. We put another 2 here. We put a single here, and we put a 2 there. Nice. In a couple minutes, we'll take a pause for the calls. I'll talk about ways you can support the channel and all that stuff. And then we'll get back to building and all that. Continue to work on our Lego. Ooh, did I miss a step somewhere? It looks like I did miss a step somewhere. Let me look here. Yes, there's a discrepancy here. I did miss something. I gotta go back. That looks like this goes on here, and there shouldn't be a gap. There's a gap there, which means that I did something wrong in this, and I have to see what that was. That's a step from like a while ago, very clearly. Yes, okay. So I only put one on each side of here, and I was supposed to put two. That was a mistake from a while ago. Luckily with Lego, easily fixable. But yes, okay. And then when I put this on here, it just locks in like that. And looks fine. And then I need to find the other one that's right there. Okay, great. Really goofed on that one. There it is, okay. I was going to say, like, there's no gap there, and then there was, because I did it wrong. It happens. Po Buddy's nerfed, as they say. Okay, we got this here, got this there. Let me just get some of the pieces that I'm going to need for the next couple steps. It's always nice to do. Just get a little ahead of ourselves. And we'll do a pause to the cause and all that. Look, got a little warm in here. Air conditioning probably might have turned off the air conditioning because we might not have needed it. Which is fine for everybody else, except for me. Not always good for me, your friend Pat. Because I am in the warm room in the house. Warmest room in the house. All right, 2 of these. Great, so we got the pieces for my next 2 steps. You just go on here. I think we're definitely going to finish the plane here, the race plane, and then we'll disassemble, and we'll probably finish disassembling, and then we'll get started on the other ones. I imagine that I will finish this build up by the end of Monday's stream because it's a 3-in-1, but still fun, still happy to do it, still enjoyable for me. But yeah. Now is the part of the stream where I'm going to talk to you. That's right, you, the viewer, right now, in the present. I'm going to talk to you about ways that you can support what I do here. Everything I'm about to tell you is optional. You're obviously under no obligation to do any of these things, but if you would like to, you're more than welcome to. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber to the old Build with Bear workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money. You can use like Cash Money there, or your Amazon Prime. If you have Prime linked with your Twitch, you get a token. You can use that token for anybody. If you want to use your Twitch token for me, that would be rad. You could do that. But yeah, that's obviously the easiest way to support me here. You could gift a sub. John gifted some subs this month. If you would also like to do that and help me get to the 40 mark, you could do that. Gifted subs, always appreciated. As I said, there is a promotion right now. CR? Yeah. Where you're gifting some subs or just subscribing allows you to get a deal with Crunchyroll, so you could do that. Bits and coins, always appreciated. We have had no one on the cheer leaderboard. If you want to cheer some bits, you could do that. You're obviously, you don't have to. But that's the easiest way to support what I do here financially, so if you want to do that, you could. I also have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. Over on my Patreon, there's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. Oh, Harold just cheered some 31 bits. Thank you so much for that, Harold. Cha-ching. Appreciate you. Thank you very much, Harold, now on the top of the cheerleader board. As mentioned, I do have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Think about it, joining me on Patreon if you wanted to. You don't gotta, but if you wanted to, you could. Over on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear, they're obviously subscribing there is free. If you want to subscribe, that would be great because I make videos and you could see them and you might like those videos. Also on my my YouTube, you could become a member, and for just $2 a month, you will get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So this coming Tuesday, you'll find out a video before other people get to see it. That's kind of nice. You'll get that on Tuesday. Those are all monthly ways to support me. If you would like to throw $1 or $2 in the old tip jar, I have a PayPal and a Ko-Fi account, and you could do a direct donation that way. Everything I make through direct donations, through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And from that fund, I take money out to buy model kits and Lego sets. It is an easy way to help me out because I have a backlog of stuff, and I'm able to purchase things from the backlog because of your continued generosity. Now, if you wanted to decide what I work on next, a way to do that is to buy something that I will then build on stream. And it'll jump the queue. Like this Lego set that I'm currently working on right now. Someone anonymously bought this off my Amazon wish list, and so I made a dedicated YouTube video about the thing they purchased, and it became the next thing I built. I started it today because somebody bought it and it came to me in the mail. If you would like to do that as well, you could go to my Amazon wish list and pick something up there. Obviously, come to the mail. I'll make a dedicated YouTube video about it, and then it jumps the queue and becomes the next thing. When I have to decide what I'm building next, it's yours because you bought it. I have got the third of 3 of the Magic the Gathering the jigsaw puzzles. We built 2 of them. The third one that this company made, Spin Master Games made, is there on the list. Some Lego sets, some model kits, inexpensive kits, expensive kits, all kinds of different things and things. Some knockoff Lego in there, because that's kind of fun to have that in there. All kinds of different stuff. A bunch of different things and things. If you see something there you'd like to see me put together, just purchase it. Consider it, if you wanted to, an early birthday present. My birthday will be 1 month from yesterday. I will turn 45. The person that bought this, the only thing on their note said "Happy Birthday?" ? Which I thought was very funny. Because I don't know if they were sure if it was my birthday coming up or not, or if they weren't sure if it was a happy one. Either way, yes and yes. So yeah, see if there's something there you'd like to see me put together. You can always buy it off my Amazon wish list. I have a wish list on Throne. That is my Amazon alternative because it's nice to have alternatives. And of course, USA Gundam Store, the most convoluted way to support me. If you want to support me, but you need there to be steps involved, you go to USA Gundam Store. You buy a gift card. They will send you an email with a gift card code. It's not a physical thing. They'll send you a code. Then you can send me a whisper here on Twitch or a DM on Twitter or Blue Sky or Mastodon with that gift card code. And then I will use that gift card code to purchase something from good old USA Gundam Store. And it'll be just like supporting me in person. That is a way to support what I do here. That requires so many fucking steps. Like, also, I didn't even mention the part where you have to have an account with USA Gundam Store. You have to like make an account with them to then buy that. So it's a lot. But as I've said before, more people have bought me gift cards to USA Gundam Store than have bought something from my Throne wish list. It's, it's not a large number, but it is more. I have a Discord. If you want to support me, but you're just not going to spend any money, I get it. You can join me in my Discord, hang out there. It's a nice little place, chill place. Let's see. A couple of video links for you to check out. I will have a new episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club up on Monday. I actually have to, I usually record those on Saturdays. I have to record it tomorrow because this current video, Pat Baer's Anime Club, is me talking about some of my most hated anime stuff, like bad plot reveals, bad character reveals and twists. Just me being a hater. And I might be a mild hater on the next video I'm working on, which I can't record till tomorrow because late tonight, early tomorrow, which will be tomorrow night Japan time, is the Crunchyroll Anime Awards for the 2025 awards, which covers 2024. So the Anime Awards are coming out, and I will, the results will be out, and then I'll be able to make a video about the results. I'll talk about like how I'm like, oh, Frieren won, hell yeah, or oh, Frieren didn't win this category, fuck, or oh, let's look at what was nominated for like this language's dub, like what was translated into Hindi, like what's the Hindi dub, or what's the Cantonese dub that won this year, because that's always really interesting. So I'll go through the results. I'll try not to be too much of a hater, but I'll still hate if a thing that I think is like almost every anime in the romantic comedy or romantic category, like a romance category, I thought was like, oof, some of these are not romantic shows. Ugh. It is what it is. I'll try in the video not to be like, well, the best show wasn't even nominated, because I did a lot of that when Witch from Mercury wasn't nominated for Anime of the Year last year, and I was like, well, it is, or 2 years ago, and I was like, well, it is though. So the Anime Awards were just wrong. What are we doing here? The last year's awards, which were for 2023, that's what it was. And I was like, this is bullshit. Anyway, that's another video coming out. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. All throughout the month of May, I have been recommending some of my favorite anime from the 2000s, 2000 to 2009. And one of those is Kaiji. Kaiji is unbelievably tense. It is a tense thriller of an anime about gambling, high stakes gambling. It is a show that I have tried to go back to, and it's hard to go back to. It's brilliant and so good. You should check out Kaiji. If you liked the desperation of the elements of desperation in Squid Game and the inventiveness of some of the challenges, you might like Kaiji. I'm say right there. And now for something very different, I'm going to talk about some anime that I've been watching. Very different from what I've been talking about previously. Before I do that, I'm going to dramatically transition the overhead camera. I'm going to drink some water. We're going to get back to Lego assembly. Try to see if we can finish up this plane. And we'll do all that right now. Hell yeah. A little bit of water there. Now let's talk about this week's episodes of Catch Me at the Ballpark and this week's episode of Rock is a Lady's Modesty, which just fucking whips ass. This has been a killer season. There's so many shows I'm not talking about just because they're in the second season or because some of them are a little bit of a harder watch. Or whatever, or I haven't gotten to them yet. I'm sure there's some shows I could do a top 10 for this year of just this season easily. But I still want to. Oh, okay, put these in the wrong spot here. One of these is wrong. These are in the wrong place. Let's see if I can pop these out without losing them anywhere. Okay, we got that one off. Can I get this one up? Yeah, did it. Just started assembling this like too quick because it's this like this, and then one of these, and then the other. But yeah, killer season. But we're talking about Catch Me at the Ballpark. If you haven't been watching this one, this is a comedy, situation comedy, a sitcom that with a little bit of romance in it, but mostly is just about the characters who are both attending and working at a minor league ballpark in Japan. And our main character is a beer girl, Ruriko. She does a lot of stuff there, selling beer, going around, got a whole personality, a whole following, and all of that. And her flirtations with a guy who is a 9-to-5er who comes to the ballpark to relax and enjoy a game. Murata. We got Ruriko and Murata. And we do start this episode with them having a back and forth. This is not the most important episode. Every once in a while, they're like, hey, remember that this is a romantic comedy between these two characters that do have a employee-customer relationship. But it's a sitcom, so you have to deal with that. You just have to accept that as best you can, Pat. So I was like, okay, fine. So in this one, we do have a very clumsy thing where the wind picks up, and Ruriko is worried that her skirt flares up, and she's worried that Murata saw her underwear. So she like has to. Sorry, let me just check this email real quick here. Oh, okay, that's fine. This is an email that I did not need to get on a Saturday night, and I do not need to look at it. I'm fine. But so he doesn't notice, and she kind of plays it off, and then because the wind is still blowing so hard, in her desperate attempt to like hide the situation, she does start pouring beer differently to adjust for the wind, and he notices that. So it's just one of those like quick little stories. There's a little bit more to it, but I kind of watched this. I didn't watch this fast, but I watched this literally like, all right, when are we going to get to the next part? The part I like least about this show is the part where these two characters flirt with one another. So I was like, let's get to the better parts of this show. And we did. Because the next one... Now, some people will never have this experience. So you may hear about this second part of this anime, which obviously is fictional, but, you know, is relatable in some ways, where Ruriko and some of her other coworkers go to the ballpark as just fans, as just attendees, to kind of see the other side of the ballpark. Now, the idea for some of you of going to your workplace when you are not working is unbelievably foreign to you. But if the place you work in is any kind of entertainment or like a restaurant, food service, you know, that kind of thing, sometimes you just fucking end up there because you have a reason to go for any number of just like your coworkers have become your friend group or one of your friend groups. And so you just end up there. I had that in my own personal experience of just being like, sometimes I would just end up at a theater I was working at when I wasn't working for any number of reasons, if not just because that was a big part of my social life was some of those people. So like, oh, well, so-and-so has a show, we're going to go and support. Like, it just happens. So to me, this was very relatable, even though it might not be relatable to everyone. To me, this was like, I get it. I get this. So they show up and they find Murata's there. And Murata does not recognize Ruriko because Ruriko is not in her uniform. She's just dressed like casually, and he only knows her from work, and he only so he only associates what she looks like with her beer uniform, which is also to me unbelievably relatable because I have met people outside of the thing I know them from and been like, ah, fuck, what do I know that person? Why do I know that? How do I know this person? So I was like, I totally get this. And then later, Ruriko is teasing Murata about not recognizing her. Lasper says that bit was really funny. Yeah, it's just like if you've ever approached someone and just being like, hey, and they're just like dead stare at you. They just like cold eye, like on, you're just like, oh no, I thought you knew me. But it's just like, then they're not doing it. They're not doing it to be dicks. They're just doing it because like they have face blindness, you know, they need context. So she's teasing him, and then but then he says something that like embarrasses her in a good way, where he's just like, well, I mean, if you were wearing the flower that you always have in your hair, I would have recognized you immediately. So it wasn't even it was a physical thing, but not a physical part of her body or anything like that, or a uniform. It's like, yeah, I mean, the thing he knows about her best, she wasn't wearing, so he didn't see that. And that makes her embarrassed in a good way. And like I said, my least favorite part about this show is their interaction, their flirtation. Their interactions I think are fine. Their flirtations I don't love, because I love more of the just ballpark bullshit. Like the third part of our story. There's a reporter who's writing an article about beer vendor girls, and Iona is working there. And apparently, because obviously newspapers are full of garbage, but this reporter has been instructed to write a negative article about this. that makes it look exploitive, and they're going to write they're doing some yellow journalism here. But he just sees that she's happy and that like this is a cool place, and he doesn't really see like some of the creepy stuff, but just sees like, oh, everybody likes it. And then also a thing that was funny was like, it wasn't just that her positive attitude and everyone's positive attitude at the ballpark is such that this guy is just like, I can't write something mean. He also finds out that his mom reads all his articles, and it's a short about how it sucks to work for BuzzFeed. Yes. But really it's just like, he's just like, finds out his mom, he doesn't want to write something really negative that's not true because his mom reads what he writes, and he doesn't want to write something that's a lie. So he's just like, all right, I'm going to write a positive article instead. And it's just cute. It's stupid, but cute. And I liked it. It was a good little story. We got our wheels on here. We do have some wheels. And then there's not a wheel there, but there's a little end in there for our plane here. We're almost done with our first of 3 builds. But yeah, very fun episode. I really like Catch Me at the Ballpark. As I said, my least favorite part is the what you might consider the main reason to watch it. But I would say I really just like the characters. I mean, like that mascot, the guy who's there from America, just like the beer girl who she works concessions, but she's found a place for herself. The various kids that have been there, like the wife and girlfriend we met who were like there to support the husband/boyfriend, and they would be friends, except that they are like there to support their own partners, but they're clearly could and should be best friends. Just like a bunch of good supporting stuff. Great supporting cast in that show. Okay, and then Rock is the Lady's Modesty. Drama, music. The last episode, this 2-part band is starting to try to become a 4-part band. And there's literally a battle of the bands coming up. But Tina, the pianist who is the like prince of the school but wants to like break out of her shell, she's not a great keyboardist. She's not really fitting in. And Tamaki, who is the bass player, who's a seasoned musician, Tamaki's like, we'll win the battle of the bands better if we're a 3-piece instead of this 4-person, because they want to do better against the band that Tamaki has quit, that is the best dumb band name in the show, Bitter Ganache. Bitter Ganache, still a top tier, terrible, great band, fake band name. But, all right, so let's build a stand. We're going to build a stand for our plane. We only have to build a stand once, so we'll do that. Because there's no good reason for me to disassemble this every time and reassemble it every time. Like, that would be very silly, so I'm not going to do that. And then Tina's just like, yeah, I mean, I don't have to be, I want to be better with this, but like, I don't want to hold people back. So she's thinking maybe I should just quit this. Also, she was having trouble clearly having trouble keeping up. She's not on their level. But Lilith is just like, nah, like I'm not doing a band to win. Like, yeah, we'll be in a battle of the bands, but I'm not doing a band for that, for like the reasons you're doing. I'm in a battle. I want to start a band so that people can properly express themselves. Like, Tina wanting to be in this band is a big deal to Lilisa. She's like, I just need more time. I can get Tina there. I can make this happen. She's got the confidence to do it. And should she be focusing on her own playing? Possibly, but she's convinced herself. And Tamaki agrees, our bass player, our seasoned musician, the person who's been in bands. She's like, fine, I guess. Odaha, our drummer, teases Tamaki a bit. Because it's just like, Oh, I get it. You see yourself in her. Like you're mad because this is how you used to be when you first got into this. Tina has improved several days later when they are playing again. But still does not think Tamaki still does not think Tina is good enough to be in this band. She does not find the improvements to be enough. Which is like fair, but but the practice is good. We are still a little bit a ways. The internal battles between Odaha and Lilisa, which was my early favorite part of this series, has kind of taken a back seat, which is a bit of a shame. It's still there, but it's not the toxic part of the toxic Yuri of this. It's still Yuri, but it's not as toxic as it's been, because we don't have their back and forth right now. So it is missing a little bit, but I understand. We got plot has to be there. Apparently Odaha is also helped Tina, so both Tina and Lilisa have been helping out, trying to get her there. And then so Tamaki's like, all right, okay, I yield. She basically says like, fine, all right, yeah, okay, we'll see this through, I guess. And then we get to, it's time for the battle of the bands. The girls show up and they have a confrontation with members of Bitter Ganache, and it's this kind of like the whole thing. Element of that is like front and center. And apparently, a lot of people are there to see Tamaki. As I said, she is a well-known bass player and has a fan base, and they are there for there, which ignites Lilisa competitive streak, and we get a little bit of that toxic Yuri showing up. So next episode will be the performance, and we will see how that goes, and we will see if Lilisa's like jealousy leads to a good performance, or if that causes some distress among the group. I just realized I don't know how this is supposed to. Okay. So we want to do it like this. Okay. So this stand for this plane is like this so that it's on an angle. That's how they want to do this. They want to have this plane have an angle to it. You can see it goes like that. Which makes sense because this is a race plane. So they wanted to have that going for it, which is cool. But yeah, I imagine the Battle of the Bands will be next episode. And we will see some of that competitiveness, and it'll either blow up in their faces or work out and be really cool and fun. And I'm looking forward to it. I've been really enjoying the show. And I do want to see this, like the over dramatization of the music and the battles among them. Hopefully Tina doesn't fall apart, and Lilisa's jealousy doesn't cause her to make mistakes and all that. But we'll see. All right, I'm going to take a photo of this here. I don't want my water to be in it, so we'll do it like this. Change that there. Okay. Great. I have completed the race plane, and we're going to save this. I'm going to save this because I will use this for the other steps, the other things that we're going to build. So I'm just going to put that aside. And now I'm going to take this all apart so that I can then, and null it again, so that I can then build the jet, which is the one that I think looks fucking cool as hell. You can see it there. And the helicopter. After that, helicopter will be the easiest build, so we'll do the jet next. Because the helicopter is the least amount of pieces, it seems like. Yeah, so now I'm just going to null. Race plane sounds nefarious in 2025. As I said, Lord Crashington, I said at the start of the stream, and I said it on in my social media promotion. It is not. It is two words I do not like saying together. I do not like saying that at all. I think that they could have come up with a different name for this kit, and it's a bummer that this is the name they came with, because I understand. I did see it listed some places as aerial race plane, and I don't think that's much better, but it is better. But the kit is, the box does say race plane. So you can see that. Racing plane? Yeah, racing plane. I said stunt plane. I suggested, Lord Grashton, that this could have been called the Stunt Plane 3-in-1, because this is a stunt plane. They could have called it that. They had a bunch of options. They went with that. Do you have the same problem with race car? No, because race car is often one word. Race car. Race plane is, I'm sure there are circles where race plane is normal verbiage. Palindromes are fine. Yeah. Yes. But yeah, I think race car, like, is just so ubiquitous that, like, it is fine to hear. It does not have a bad mouth feel, in my opinion. I don't know. But I only have to say it out loud a couple more times, and it's fine. I only have to write it out, because, like, my assumption is that I will complete, that we will get started on the jet, and then finish the jet, and then finish the helicopter, and then by Monday, the end of Monday stream, I will be done with this kit. That is my assumption. Because I don't think either of these are going to take too long to build. So I will have a poll tomorrow for my $10 patrons to decide what I work on next. Because, you know, it's important to get those things figured out. Whoops. Uh-oh. Wheel fell. Good. It fell in an easy place for me to find it. Luckily, the carpet made so this wheel that fell did not roll away. Because that could have been a disaster. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? I love hearing from you about what's going on and what you got, and what you're excited about. So if you've got something you want to chat with me about gaming-wise, or this weekend, if you went out and did stuff, you could tell me about that. Things you're excited about for the upcoming week. You know, you can always do that as well if there's something you got going on. I love hearing from you about those things and things. So feel free to share them with me now. I will tell you that I have played a bit of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tactical Takedown, TMNT TT. I have played some of that. We were playing that on Tuesday. I called it audible because I did not know if I was getting a code for that game, and I did. I did get a code for that game, so I have played a little bit of it just to familiarize myself again. I think I'm going to start off over from scratch just for the stream, but I did get some time in with that game to make sure everything was working, and it was working out fine. I'm not very good at it because I'm not very good at that kind of game, but I am excited to work on it. The weird thing that I saw a bunch of people talking about how is like, well, there's not a lot of depth to it, and it's like not long enough, and I was just like, it's not a full-priced game. I don't know. Like, obviously I haven't played a lot of it yet, but I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I think some people's expectations were just like not met, but I think they might have had very high expectations for what this thing was going to be. But what I've played of it, I've really enjoyed. As I said, I got some wrestling to watch tomorrow night. Last night I watched, as Harold said, Desert Bus Express was pretty sweet. I did watch a bunch of that. I did not watch a lot of it today, because I had other stuff going on. But I will check the clips and such. But I did watch yesterday. I watched a lot of it yesterday. As I started off, which was a fun idea. It was a 24 hours Desert Bus Express, the express version. So that was really fun. Nice to see some interesting combinations of people. I think the first block, the highlight of the first block was just how, despite being terminally online like we all are, It's just TK is online in a different way than other people that is part of that event, and that is very funny and fun. To just be like, what thing is TQ knows a lot about a lot of things, but what is something she doesn't know that everyone else knows, and that's always interesting to me. But like I said, I didn't watch a lot of today's stuff, so I need to get back in there. And that was fun. Like I said, I did some spring cleaning stuff around the house the past couple days, so that was good to do. I wouldn't call that fun, but it was good to get it done. Tomorrow, I have to record a video, Pat Bear's Anime Club, because I'll have the results of the Anime Awards, so I'll have that done, and then I will be able to record that video tomorrow afternoon, and I gotta get it done early in the afternoon because I have a meeting in the late afternoon, and then also tomorrow, of course, as I've mentioned, Double or Nothing, AEW's pay-per-view. I've got that. I'll be in a chat room with some friends while that's on, watching that, talking about things, getting mad about results, being excited about results, the usual, all of those things and things. I look forward to that because this should be a good time because the card looks really good. My boy Speedball. My them Speedball is in a title match. Second pay-per-view for Speedball. Second title opportunity for Speedball. That's just fucking wild. Okada versus Speedball Mike Bailey. That's just a wild thing to say out loud. The person who was banned from the United States and travel for basically doing wrestling shows without a visa, doing indie shows without a visa, got busted for that because it's hard to get a visa, a work visa in the United States to work there if you are not well known, and you only get well known by working shows, and not the first, not the last to pull that stunt, paid for it dearly. But Speedball now in a prime position to do a lot of cool stuff in AEW. Very excited for Speedball and to be able to cheer them on when they lose to Okada, because I don't think they're beating Okada, but it'll be really fun. Ghostval says, tired after a morning of fencing, not the fun kind. I don't know if I think either kind is particularly fun, but I understand what you mean. Working on a fence, yeah, that is not fun. Back on retrying AC6 since I remembered I didn't finish up the campaigns for it. Still enjoying G-Quux. Watched DB Express. Let's see. Armor Core. Okay, and then because John made a joke about not knowing which one, it was that, what AC is that? Is that Assassin's Creed? Is that Armored Core? It's Armored Core 6. Hell yeah. You didn't finish up the campaign, so you're like, oh, wait, I got to do that. I understand. I have been there where I'm just like, wait, I didn't finish that? Like a DLC is coming out for something, and then I realize I didn't finish the main game, and I'm like, shit. All right, let me do that first. John says, hoping it was Ace Combat 6. That's pretty good, too. Yeah, I guess that makes more sense. Most people don't remember what the Assassin's Creed numbers are at this point, so you were thinking Ace Combat 6, yeah. John says, using my precious free time to watch all 7 hours and 7 minutes of the War and Peace movie and touching all the map parts and Altair Yumiya. Nice. Sometimes you just got to touch all them parts. I understand. I get it. Lord Crash says, I got to the second chapter of TMNT Tactical Takedown, and I really like the way they differentiate Turtle's style of dealing with enemies, which is a lot of fun. I'd love to see a follow-up where you have all four in the same party for these fights. Yeah, I could see that maybe happening, depending on the success of this game, them blowing, like expanding the world and working with mechanics and all that, like putting the whole thing together. I could see them doing something like that. Lashbrook says, I've been watching a lot of real life stuff going on. I hear you. I got it. Was out the other day and managed to pick up Romeo and plus Juliet for half price books. And that movie is way wilder than you remember. I remember it being pretty wild, so I hear you. Yeah, I could see that being the case. Was hoping to get to watch some Combo Breaker, but Double or Nothing is going to make that hard. Yeah. Every once in a while I see stuff up about like, because I follow a couple people in the fighting game community scene and a few companies that have fighting games that are out, and so every once in a while I will see that and I go like, maybe this is the weekend I watch some high tier like fighting game tournaments, and I never do. But I think about it, I just never do. Yeah, sometimes, like, but I hope that you have a good time with it. I hope that's real fun. And yeah, Double or Nothing tomorrow. I'm excited for that. It feels weird that I don't have the replay of Collision to watch tonight, but I will watch some of, if not all of, Saturday night's main event. And I can report that Jey Uso is still the World Heavyweight Champion, and they did not, on a Saturday night's main event, give Logan Paul the World Heavyweight title, the secondary main title. Thank God. Great to know. Will he win it someday? I'm sure they'll put a big belt on him at some point, but they didn't this time. So that's something. But yeah, I'm probably going to watch that because my Peacock subscription has not expired. I think it expires like in 3 days, and I'm not renewing it because I just don't watch enough WWE. It's enough that if there is a WWE pay-per-view, like Money in the Bank is coming up, I might want to watch Money in the Bank. I'll pay a month for Peacock to watch Money in the Bank. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of how I'm feeling. Also, when my subscription expires, if they offer me a like $2 a month for 6 months deal, like I'll probably say yes, but they haven't offered me a deal. So I don't want to pay the full price. So I'll probably just get Peacock when I want to watch a WWE pay-per-view live. I'll probably just do that. But other than that, probably not. Dirty's here. Hey, Dirty, saying enjoying the new Fantasy Life game. Yeah, I've heard some good things. I haven't watched anyone stream that yet. I should try to find some streams. Enjoyed a day off yesterday. Hell yeah, a little Friday day off. Ordered a new comp after getting a refund for overcharged med bills. Okay, hell yeah, Dirty. I mean, not the fact that you got overcharged from that, but you got the money back from it. That's awesome. But also that you spent on something cool. Nathan says, been spending most of my time on Marvel Rivals. Also, hi, Nathan. I'm shocked at how much I'm into that game. Also trudging through the very meh Doom Dark Ages. Rooting for Death Riders tomorrow because I enjoy how much everyone hates them. Oh, see, I want this to be like the end is All In. All In is the end. I want this to be the beginning of the end. I want the good crew to win. The problem is that like the ops will just go back to doing title stuff, the trios title stuff. I don't know where Swerve goes after this. If there's a program with Swerve and Moxley before All In, I don't think there will be. So it's like, well, what happens there? I don't know what happens there. But to me, that's like, I want this to be the beginning of the end. And as far as Marvel Rivals, I haven't played in a bit. I have some friends that still play regularly. They want me to play. We might play during the week this week. And I still have a good time with it. But I'm not expecting to ever be good at that game. But I'm still at having fun levels of that game, I guess I should say. Combo Breaker says Lashbrook is also good for stuff like the mystery game tournament and seeing people trying to figure out whatever the game is in real time. Yeah, all right. That is, you know what? Honestly, Lashbrook, that's a good pitch. That is a good pitch for something to check out because that does sound fun to see like, all right, let's see these very good games people trying their best with something they aren't familiar with, like live in real time, to be like, well, what kind of game is this? That is cool. That would be fun to watch, and then kind of see them do their best as they go. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that being a real fun thing. Like I said, I'm just not I always say I'm going to check out Combo Breaker or some Evo or something, and I just don't ever do it. All right, we are almost done disassembling our plane, and we will do a little bit of some setup. We'll get a little bit in on our jet just to get a little started. Obviously, we do have the base done, so that part's done. But we can get a little bit of that. Got all our Lego out. So yeah, we'll get a little bit of this done, and then build from there. Okay. Hello, Jushin. Welcome. You are here kind of towards the end of the stream, but we got a little time together here before we part ways, before we go on a raid and find someone doing cool stuff to go hang out with, because that's how we end every stream. But yeah, we're getting a little bit done here. We finished our plane. We built the plane. We disassembled the plane. Now we're going to work on the jet, which looks pretty cool. I always like a good, clearly very fictional jet design from Lego. I think they're very good at that. And for folks that weren't here at the beginning of the stream, I do want to point out that this kit, instead of plastic bags within the cardboard box, it was all different sizes of paper bags. Lego has been doing this. They started doing this initiative in other places. It finally has come around here in America. This was the first kit I've had, or set I've had, that does this, because it's a 2025 set, and I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased with the paper bags instead of just the plastic bags, because this will go into my recycling. Very excited about that. That is a nice thing. Like I said, they've been doing this program in a few places here and there, and now it has made its way over to us. And that's just fucking cool. I just think that is cool shit. So I was very happy about that. All right. And we'll do here. So yeah, this is always the you know, you could say, if you want to, you could call this the boring part of the build, because this is always the part that has, like, you know, oh well, not a lot going on with this particular moment here. Put this here, because it's the base of it, so it takes a little while before it gets good, before you start really being able to see the build. Like, right now it's just like I'm doing the frame of it. It's not as exciting. Speaking of exciting stuff, Monday we'll continue to work on our builds here. We'll build the jet, we'll disassemble, we'll build the helicopter. I think we'll be done by the end of the stream with that. I'll have a poll tomorrow for my $10 patrons about what I should work on next. I'm excited for that. Tuesday, play TMNT Tactical Takedown. I did receive a code for that. I want to make that very clear. I always try to make that very clear that I received a code for that game. So it is not a sponsored stream. I always want to make that clear, but it is, you know, it is something that I made, or something that I received a code for. Did apply for it, did receive it. And so, yeah, so I always try to make that clear, because you should take what I have to say with a grain of salt. Like, in the same way that, like, I like strange scaffolding games, and some of them I have not streamed because I Am Your Beast was not something that I thought was the right vibes for my streams here, and also just chaotic clickleding. I was also like, this is not a thing that I want to stream and talk through. I just want to experience the game. So, you know, some of these I didn't. I did not stream, because I was like, no. Let's see. Not much cuckolding on the Bear Cave. Yeah, I mean, just like, Clickholding is a video game experience, and I do think I was glad I played that game, because I thought it was inventive and interesting, but also, like, did not feel like a Tuesday night game here on the channel. And I Am Your Beast, like, I'm fucking awful at that shit. I don't want to do that. The same way, like, I generally don't play hero shooters or any kind of shooters on stream, because I'm so bad at them but also competitive ones. Most of the time, I'm not doing it simply because those are games that I play with friends, and they're me time games. They're for me because I have monetized all of my hobbies. So what I have to do is have hobbies have parts of the hobby that I don't monetize. Like I don't do any, it's like I just I have a crew and we play a bunch of multiplayer games together, and that is how we interact with one another and hang out. And none of us stream it. Occasionally one of us will share their screen in Discord, because every once in a while there's like a friend because we'll do audio through Discord, and every once in a while there's like a friend who's just like, hey, I'm stuck at work. Does anybody want to like stream it out so I can see what y'all are doing? And they'll just like type in chat while they watch us play. And that's the most of it. Nobody ever posts any clips. We don't, a couple of my friends do post clips to like their other friend groups of like funny things every once in a while. There's somebody that follows me on Blue Sky specifically because they only know me from saying goofy shit in short clips of like Halo games, like Halo Infinite, where I'm just like goofing, where I'm like flying a vehicle and like talking shit in a fun way. And then that got clipped and put on a Discord I'm not in, that my friend is in with his like college friends. And then somebody like found out who I was and were like, oh, I like that guy. I'm going to follow him on social media. And it's like, okay. Come watch a stream. All right. Let's see. We'll put this on here. And then we'll put this there. And then we will call this. We have gotten some of our jet done. They recently banned having video streaming services open at work, says Dirty. Oh, that's a shame. I mean, like, I get it. I'm never going to take the side with big, high-level corporate stuff. But as a former middle manager, I do understand that sometimes you have to be like, don't get caught. Like, that's my general feeling on that stuff is always, hey, don't get caught. Like, oh, that's a bummer that we have to talk about this. But like, it is one of those things, like, I don't agree with it, because if productivity is down, if you're not doing the work that you are paid to do, then yeah. But if having a stream on your third monitor gets you through the workday, I'm all for it. That's just my thing. Like, if you have to focus on things and you can't focus because your primary screen is like a bunch of YouTube videos and a playlist, like, then I'm like, nah, I'm not. I understand. But if you're just like pretty chill and sometimes you like to have those things on in the same way you would have the radio on, or you would have Spotify open, or you would have a TV in the break room on with cooking shows on all day. If you're just like, I don't know, sometimes while I work, I want to have Jeff Gerstmann playing NES games. Like, yeah, I get that shit. Lower Crashes, I think the only negative thing I have to say about Tactical Takedown is that I wish you could see info about an enemy in a codex or something in that expect mode, and not just be able to rotate the camera around them. Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I played the demo. I played a little bit of the game just to be like, oh, I remember this. I'm going to play more of it on Monday, probably before Tuesday's stream. But yeah, I'm sure there will be things that I look at this and go, I wish this was better. I hope that you have a great rest of your weekend. What's going to happen now is we're going to rate. We're going to go find someone doing cool stuff and go hang out with them. And you are welcome to join me on that endeavor if you would like to. You are obviously under no obligation to come hang out. But if you would like to, as Minjad says, we always end with a raid. We're just going to go find somebody doing some stuff and go hang out with them. Often on Saturdays, we hang out with my friend Liz. Liz does very long Saturday streams, like wildly long Saturday streams. So I don't know how much longer Liz is going to go, but Liz is streaming right now, and we're going to go raid. Because also, Liz will end up raiding someone cool as well. So let's go hang out with Liz. I want to thank you all so much for being here. I hope you come along on this raid. I hope you will come back on Monday as I conclude this very cute, fun Lego set. I want to thank, thanks so much for being here. Come back on Monday. Come back on Tuesday for some video games and more building things. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.